Welcome back, friends. We're doing the classic 5-ingredient onion burger per George Motz's instructions in his book, The Great American Burger Book. My 3 tips to master this meal are: get the right amount of beef, just under 3 ounces, thinly slice your onions, and it's a lower temperature than you normally do your smash burgers at. Start with 80-20 ground beef, as fresh as you can get it. Now, I'm not suggesting you put a hit out on a cow or anything, just maybe buy it from the case rather than in one of those tubes. Ask the butcher at my local Kroger if the case was fresher than the wrapped stuff in the white styrofoam. He said no, it's all the same, it's just a matter of getting a specific amount from the case, or the prepackaged stuff is in usually like 1 or 3 pounds. Next is our Vidalia onion. This is the part I messed up the most when I first started making these. You need to get them so thin that they're translucent, and it's almost impossible to do that with a knife. A mandolin on the thinnest setting is best, but if you don't have one, a potato peeler actually works very well also. Here's the difference between the 3. In the book, George recommends using a green number 12 salad scoop to measure out your beef. I don't know about you, but I don't have one of those laying around. So I looked it up and did some math. The green scoop equals 2.8 fluid ounces, and a 1/3 measuring cup equals 2.7 fluid ounces. Now, I had to take off my socks and shoes to do this, but I'm pretty sure those two are close enough to be interchangeable. And it's more likely that you got a 1/3 measuring cup laying around your house, right? So that's what I use. Don't overpack them. We're not making meatballs. I just like to squeeze them a few times. As we go out to the griddle, we'll get our quote of the day. It's from Bobby Flay. Burgers are a universal language of deliciousness. Well, ain't that the truth, Bobby? Get our griddle to 400 degrees. That's about 10 minutes on medium for me. On traditional smash burgers, I get closer to 500 for a real nice sear. I go lower on these because I don't want to burn the onions. I want to grill or fry the onions. Fried onion burger. Place down your balls of meat about 5 inches apart because they will spread out. Sprinkle them with salt, then place a golf ball sized handful of onions on top and smash. I'm not used to seeing golf balls go on beef. Normally mine just go into the woods or a sand trap or a pond, so this is a new experience for me. Now, you can use a spatula in your hand, you can use 2 spatulas, or a burger press. Just try to smash them down as thin as you can. Fun fact, in Oklahoma they use mason trowels to smash down the burgers. Don't worry if they get some holes, they'll be fine. Also, if they're bigger than the buns, they will shrink up, I promise. They're really just cooking in their own fat is what they're doing. That's what's so nice about getting them thin. We will leave these alone for 5 minutes. Do not touch them. The onions should be smashed into the beef where they almost become one, and this gives it an amazing flavor. After 5 minutes, you give them a flip, and we'll get real fancy with some cheese de Americana and the buns on top. We are steaming the buns on top, not toasting them on the side and on the griddle. Very similar to what they do at White Castle. And actually, if you think about it, this is kind of like a giant White Castle slider. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Let them sit like this for 2 to 3 minutes, then slide your spatula under and flip your burger. Don't leave any of those onions behind. They are so good. The original recipe doesn't have any condiments, but obviously dress it up any way you like. I'm certainly not telling you how to eat your burger. I go with the double chip action. That's potato and pickle chips. So again, to review our 3 tips, you want to get the right amount of burger, which is just under 3 ounces. I use a 1/3 measuring cup to get that right. Thinly slice your onions using a mandolin or a potato peeler. A lower temp than your normal smash burgers, around 400 degrees. This is part of my quest for the 101 best griddle recipes, and it's definitely in there. It's like a top 20 recipe. If you want to follow along as I search for these recipes, I document it and send them out for free in my email newsletter. There's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Keep on griddling, friends.